Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my kit videos. In this kit video, we're going to look at my comms setup. So this isn't something I've really kind of gone over before. It's not massively exciting, but please do stick with me. So the weather is getting better here in the UK now. We're kind of, start of April kind of time. The weather is starting to book up a little bit. We've had a few dry days. So I'm going to be getting out in the woodland a lot more, and I'm going to be getting out with my MTW. So I've got a few battle buddies, and I want to keep in touch with them. So comms are of the essence for those kind of cool team plays, etc., etc. So let's have a quick look at the radio setup that I use. I'm not going to go too far into the legalities. Over here in the UK, there are certain legalities that you have to adhere to if you're using two-way radio. I will absolutely caveat that I am licensed. I do have an Ofcom license to use the radio frequencies that I do use, and to use both of the radios that I'm going to show you just now. You do actually need to do that. You can't just take them out of the box, switch them on, and away you go. And even if you program in the kind of the public use frequencies, you aren't fully adhering to the Ofcom code. So I'm not saying that you're going to get caught, and I'm not saying that anyone has ever checked me, but there is a possibility that if you got someone on a bad day, they could possibly pull you for this. But, you could get fined, you'll probably just get told off. The reality of it is just, if you're going to use a radio, do some reading first, learn about it first, and then between you and a few mates, one of the UK light licenses is 75 quid for 5 years. So it breaks down at 25 quid a year. And between five of you, you pay a fiver, and you've got, really good use of one of these things. So definitely worth doing. So onwards. So when I started out with Airsoft comms, I started out with this, the Baofeng 888. Now, there is usually an antenna on here. This one's been in a few different setups, and this is a fairly basic radio. You can see here that the battery is about to fall out of this one because I've not inserted it properly. And this has been a bit of a warhorse. It's fairly basic on and off, and it comes with 16 channels. It starts on channel 1, and it goes through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, blah, blah, blah. You program this using a programmer cable, which plugs in to the side there. It has a large pin and a small pin, and then you just use that USB connection into your computer of choice. For what it's worth, you can program these from Windows and from Linux, and I haven't attempted doing it from a Mac yet, but I'm fairly sure you will be able to, because Chirp is available for Mac. So that was it. What the team and myself initially did is we set up, I think on our license we had like 5 licensed channels, so we set up 1 to 5 as our 5 licensed channels, and then for those on top of that we stuck a bit of CTCS just on the off chance, just in case. We didn't really ever use those, so really it's just our kind of 5 channels, our 5 core channels. So I very rarely actually run this on kind of like in a pouch next to me. I have a remote, which I'll show you in a minute. But that was kind of my starting radio. From there, I moved on to what I'd probably call the missing link, the one just here. That was a UV5R. Again, these are all Baofeng. The UV5R is basically kind of the entry level to what it's the starting radio ham. You can listen to a load of different frequencies on it. I had that for a few years, absolutely fantastic. Then I moved across onto this, the F8 Plus, and the reason I moved to the F8 Plus is because it has a black display, and I liked the black display. What can I say? I'm a tart, man. So this is my F8 Plus. This is a tri-band radio, but again, I'm only using my UK light frequency just there. Yes, you can see the frequency number below. I split that because if I'm playing with anybody on the day and I'm like, hey, do you want to jump on our channel with us? I just quickly move it across between the two. You'll see there at the side, the channel designations are the same. One reads the name of it and one reads the frequency. Again, I'm not going to go too much into the actual setup of these, but I try and be as cautious as I can. We don't use high power, we don't use wideband, we just try and keep it fairly low key. Less interference, really. You get a better radio signal out of it at the end of the day. So, anything nice about this radio? No, the battery is probably worse than the 888, even though the battery will still go for days and days and days and days. The reason for that is it's got a screen where that doesn't have a screen. One of these, I think I'd charge it and leave it in my bag for 6 months and it'll work fine. One of these, I'll charge it and leave it in my bag for 2 months, 3 months, and it'll still be working. So there is a lot of legs in them. one of the reasons, like I say, I went for the F8 is the black screen. The screen on a UV5 does key up in different colours, which is absolutely phenomenal. And with these, you can kind of custom put your own frequencies in as well. So if I were to go and someone's like, hey man, jump on my license, I just bip it over into channel mode, bop the number in, hit go, and away we go. So slight differences that I've made to mine are this, the antenna. They don't come with a flexible antenna as stock. It's got a tall thing. It didn't fit in my backpacks with the tall thing on it, so I put a little flexible jobby on. I did start out with a little porcelain one, but they crack. So I've gone for a slightly longer but rubber duck kind of thing. Makes a fairly satisfying sound when you flick it like that. The only other customization I've done on this radio is here. That's an O-ring just there. And what the O-ring does is it reduces the movement on this volume button so that when it's in my bag, you know, things rubbing against it, you've got to rub pretty hard to turn that volume on and off. So that's the radio. Really is nothing too spicy, and like I say, we do operate on, you know, licensed channels, so in theory we get less people on our licensed channels. That's pretty difficult when you're on a site full of airsofters and they're all just bashing numbers in to try and find a channel that no one's on. That happens sometimes. Again, it's a UK thing. Not sure if that would affect anyone else in the US or Europe or anything, but that's just what we run here in the UK, and we be as cautious as we possibly can. So, onwards from there, where do we go? Well, I'm going to lift my rig up now, and I'm going to show you. So, in my rig, this is the backpack to my sniper rig. So, what I'll do is I'll just open that out for you. And you can see in there, I've got the cable coiled up. I've got some BBs in there. I've got an SRS mag. And then, effectively, my radio I'll show you on the Trip 8. We just plug that in. Bip, into there. That gets stowed away in there quite nicely. We fold that up. Love the teddy bear, right? Teddy bear goes everywhere with me. Any airsoft event I go to, teddy bear comes with me. My little girl gave it me. Always comes with me. And then we're on a kind of a flexible wire, which has got a bit of flexi there, that wraps through some of the mole hoops. And then this is the Kudio branded version. So this isn't the boggy basic Baofeng remote kind of push-to-talk speaker. This one is a little bit beefier. It says it's waterproof. I've never tried it. But the stock one, the cable is a little bit flimsier, and the end of it here isn't quite as tough. Kudio one's the first one I bought. This one was off Amazon. It was about £20. Since then, I've managed to source them from AliExpress, and I think I've got an Abri branded one. I think that was only about £8, so they're not mega money. So with that, it's fairly basic, just a push-to-talk on the side there. So you speak into it here, it has a microphone in here, and when you're letting go and when you're receiving, it's got a speaker built in, it comes out. So it's not the stealthiest thing when you're in the woods. It's not like it's in an earpiece and no one else can hear you. My thinking behind this is, to be fair, this is a sniper rig, so I'm going to be a fair way away from people, hopefully. And if people are on top of me, you can just put your hand over it like that, and it does dumb it down, or ask your friends just for a few moments of radio silence. So that's kind of the remote setup. If you like I say, it's nothing exciting. It's nothing expensive. Like I know some of you guys run really cool headpieces and really funky microphone setups. This isn't that. This is just very basic, very minimal, very utilitarian. Does it work? Yes, it does. Has this lasted me? Yes, it has. I've had this mic alone for the best part of nearly 4 years. Whereas the little earpiece things that you get that come with these things, they last about 3 or 4 minutes normally. So this thing has had a bloody good innings. Like I say, on my newest Viper rig, I've got an Abri version of this hung up at the moment. Not too happy because it doesn't have a mole loop to hook into, but I'm going to see if I can fix that with some cable ties. So that is my comms setup. That is it. Nice and simple. We keep things simple, especially when it comes to comms and that kind of thing. I do like the radio. It's a really cool looking radio as well. You know, when you pull it out, you know, people are like, oh my god, is that the UV5? Blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. It's a little bit less cool because the screen's just black, but do you know what? It does the job. We get clear comms. What more could you ask for? There we go, guys. There is my discussion on an airsofting radio without chirping 1,001 laws and rules at you. Thank you very much, guys. Please do use your radios responsibly. And if you've stuck with me this far, please hit that like button. Please drop me a comment. Tell me what you use and tell me how you use it. Please do not incriminate yourself and say, I use one of these on PMR channels. Don't want to know that, guys. That's between you and Ofcom, ultimately. And please do hit that sub button if you've not already on the subs list. Thank you very much, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.